Then I went to university for masters in business administration, especially in HR. Currently, based in the city, but I'm just entering my PhD at Northern University. I'll be waiting for the final defense by Thursday. I will give online and I'll give you the list of those graduating this semester. Teacher, represented as a trade teacher in hotel, work also as a trade teacher. I taught the students, I taught in primary, I taught in secondary, and also taught at the university for 7 years as a part-time lecturer in there. I also moved from class and Book Academy, which is owned by Ministry company, and I was taken to the company after 10 years in HR, so I was taken as HR administrator. Later on, I was promoted to talent manager, in charge of recruitment, performance management, and training. And then when counties formed, I applied and I was considered. I became the first director of HR for Kakamega County. Thereafter, with the second term of the city governor, the director's position of chief officers, which I also applied for, and I was actually I wanted to be chief officer of public service administration. They gave me chief officer, economic planning and investment. So I was in charge of budget preparation, CFDP for the county. And then later on, last year February, I was appointed as chief administrative secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture. Still have served for a year. And I was still studying. When I go somewhere and they introduce me, they say I need the former or not to go in. But we're still in office, we received a letter from the president that we continue serving until the new ones are appointed. So that's my journey. Now, you asked what do you feel that I'm suitable for this position? Okay, CECM for Public Service and Administration handles HR issues and have actually a total of 13 years dealing with human resource related issues. So we look at what is required to manage that office. On the side of administration, what I've been doing there as a chief secretary was actually mainly administration or administrative duties. I've also served as a council member. Council member is a board member of a university, there for 5 years. I was in charge of the HR committee and also the audit committee. I've also been trained as a trustee in pension management. I've also been a chair of Sukari Sako for 3 years. So I feel that I'm this position, I'm secure of this position, and I'll be able to serve this country well. Maybe finally is that the experience I've had in that department, worked there for HR for 5 years. Then when I was appointed chief officer for planning, I also acted. Then when we been given a position of chief officer of public service administration, I resigned. So I had to for 8 months again as chief officer of public service administration. So I said, I guess people back home if you give me this position.
Thank you. Now, it's going to ask the overview of the mandate of this Ministry of Public Service Administration. And as you did that, explain as the previously there has been a rift between that office and the other county secretary.
Duties
what extent?
Honorable Speaker, actually you have said it rightly that you want to rate because of lack of understanding of the roles. Usually the public service administration is charged with the responsibility of handling employee issues, starting from recruitment, induction, training, promotion, discipline management, compensation, up to separation. And then secondly, it's also charged with the responsibility of dealing with the administrative issues. That's the county administration, the sub-county, the ward, and the community administrators. But on the other side, they also the county secretary is charged with the responsibility of coordinating government ministries so that they are able to provide service or service delivery to the citizens who are Kakamega County. But now where the issue comes in is where when somebody is put there that don't understand. And there is something they just say it's county secretary and head of public service. Now he confuses, or he or she confuses most of them there confusing, and they think head of public service now means they also in charge of public service and administration. But there is to coordinate ministries to ensure that people are delivering service to manage. So it's like the captain works very closely with the chief officers to ensure that service is given to people. But now some of them come there and they start transferring people, which is not right. The issue with the employees should be done by the public service administration. But if he has to do it, he has to do it in consultation. And then it's sealed and transferred our guide, something like that. So we have had a lot of misunderstanding.
Thank you. That clarification is now very clear. We'll get more questions from the leader of majority.
Okay, thank you to Speaker. This committee is concerned about two issues which you please try to see that the purpose of emphasis. Issue of politics, still the staff. The staff in county government have for a long time complained about overworking, promotions, nepotism, and tourism. How do you intend to deal with this concern as the CECM? And at the same time, they also consider how do we intend to create a harmonious relationship among all the staff in the county government. And so that relates to your relationship, particularly with the county secretary. Thank you to respond to that.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. The county government deals with the first question.
The complaints about
Promotions,
nepotism, tourism.
Yeah, we've had problems. And when we do it, this county in 2014, we had a serious problem. The people were come from the national government and they were really lying behind. So we invited the officers from the local campus because they were letting staff on the ground. So now we came in, we invited people who were experienced from Nairobi and we worked with what we call accelerated promotion because we had somebody that worked in one position for like 20 years and has not moved. And even today, it is still the same problem. I was talking to a colleague whom I was employed at the same day, the current in communication. When we are employing, using people in 2014. It's called Sugalima, and it's still at Yogo for the 10 years. And you know, by law, said that you, when you're employed, especially in the union, level ever, when you're employed, you're supposed to serve for 3 years. Then you automatically move to the next job group. But for senior positions like here above, the qualifications that you require. So these require senior management training. From P to Q to require masters degree. But you find that people have all those things and they're still stagnating, which is a serious problem. So the best thing to do is to come up with a promotion policy that has to be discussed through public participation, discussed with the assembly committee, the public sector administration, so that is acceptable, and also with closely related to the national policy on promotion, so that the employees understand working, so that the ministry can have a guide. Then number two, we must sensitize the senior staff, especially the chief officers, directors, in the policy, so that they are able to understand what's required. But if you're not going to also sensitize the staff themselves, so that they know that you also need to apply. And when you are applying for this position, these are the requirements, so that you don't apply if you don't have the requirements. So the policy is key, and if you're given this position, that's one of the things that can start with, because employees are really suffering. And some of them have been in one job for 20 years, no increment, life has stayed unhealthy. I was surprised that some of the security boys that we had now in enforcement, some of them are degrees, some are accountants, and they just there to 18,000 euro and they've been there for the last 10 years. So I think that's something that I'll inform my task force in the ministry, so that we look at it, then we see how we can improve. And about creating harmonious work relationship, we have a open door policy listed to people, have performance management, so that you can also reward those who are performing well, and also reprimand those who are not performing well. We have to be allowed to be fair, so that people don't see any favoritism. For instance, I remember I was invited for interview by the county public service board and number one came from Butere in HR, and number two again came from Butere. Number three was from Shian, and we actually agreed that we cannot have all the people from one at once serving on position at the end of HR and take it. So we had to go for number three. All of them passed us, these two are ahead. So that's what we say, that we need to ensure that everybody, the diversity, everybody is included, and there is one area may lag behind. So that the openness, impartiality should be the practice to show that there is harmony, and then the wider those who are performing well.
Just because of
This is what do we look at? If you look at the principles of public service, they talk about that inclusivity and fair distribution of resources. So, as a county public service board, they agreed that if they advertise for 5 positions, and fortunately,
but if you are not well acquainted with that, know that that is what is happening. So there's another issue on the same. They were land robbers that were being used by the sub-county administration, and they were sold during the electioneering time. So put to us clearly how you are going to plan to revamp the county administration system. That is number one. Then on the third, will you bring the IE that used to be there? And then lastly, how do you intend to address the transport challenges now that the Land Rovers were sold?
Thank you very much, Reverend Speaker. It's true, Mheshimiwa, that we have lost so many cases. It's just because of not following procedure. When you go to labor relations courts, they just look at first thing before even they go to the issue at hand is procedure followed. So if you deviate, for us in nature, if you take these things personally, that somebody has been found in a misdemeanor and you want to take it personally as it is your enemy, then you lose the case. You should just handle the case based on the issues at hand and the evidence provided. I remember for like a case is supposed to be handled, most of the cases that we've lost actually because of time. A case is supposed to be handled within 6 months so that you don't suspend an employee for 10 years, for 5 years. He's earning half of his salary, the children are suffering. For instance, there was a gentleman who was a workshop side hotel at this level. And he just dished out loads to people. And we suspended him. We handled the case at county human resource legislative level. We sent the case to the county public service board. It took 2 years with the case. He went to industrial court and won. And we paid him, the county paid him 7 million. So the county lost the plots and lost the money because of just delay. So we've lost so many cases because of that. So what I'm doing is to make sure that we speed up the cases so that we clear within the required time, because we have lost so many because of that. And then there's also where we just move, directions that are given. I remember 2 cases I had with the governor. The governor was leaving office, Governor Parana leaving office at around 8. He met a man with hanging shirt, just walking on the corridor. So he asked him, when 9? And the man did not know Parana, so he said, now when 9? So Governor Parana said, Mimi Parana. Then the man just started running. And he jumped over to Morigo Garden and disappeared. Then I was calling the office and I was told, sack that man immediately. But I can't help to do the evidence. I called the man to my office, he was the director of HR. He told me, yes, the governor told me, paid me and I was drunk. But you see, I was not on duty. I was having my vice captain taking my own class. And they told me that the person was supposed to report on duty was sick. So I came very fast. Not sure that I can secure the test and then take my friend to take care. As I go home to check it, yes, actually, so I talked to the governor and the man was research and he's still working up now. I also remember one of the MCS from Matu came with a team of people saying, oh, this woman is blind. She sold her land and gave money to this young man so that he can secure a loan. So the governor told me at night, can you come to the office and write a letter to this man? So I just came to the man tomorrow. by the let's say a team to go and find out. They were called preliminary investigation. When they went there, they discovered the mama who was blind, they just posting like this for about they were now in the governor's office. And we discovered she was found weeding. And the chief said she has even have no land, but she said she sold. So we explained to the governor and they was restricted. So he saying that sometimes the HR people or the administration rush with these cases. You must carry out preliminary investigation first before you write a letter. Then everybody will understand. So then you follow procedure. You do that, you give a short letter. You invite and you give 21 days just before it. But I usually see some people saying in 24 hours I'm going to respond. It's supposed to be 21 days. And then the officer comes back. And then when the officer comes back, he's supposed to give him a chance to defend himself. He can come with a lawyer or a union official or any other company. And then after he's defended himself, then you can begin the case at that level, or if it's too serious, then you take to the board. Then from the board, you can take to the public service commission before it goes to court. But we just rush. Like the young man we give 1 million for public participation. It was given some time, 3 years ago, to go to Eldoret, to Little Piano, something was to be Eldoret. And then he went to bring up it, and they lost 1 million. And he pleaded. The department was done, he told everything. So he said, I'm earning about 80,000. You can come from my salary. We write, start the man. He went to court, he won the case, he will come back and we can pay him.
I agree with that. It comes
So we say that we must also solve some of the cases. If the police there and he is able to pay, and the money was actually stolen and reported to the police, you are supposed to handle. Now about the administrators, actually, sometimes the administrators have problems. It's like for about 3 or so years, they lack direction. They are not given money, and money in the offices. Some of them, I remember the notary one. And to buy, his landlord broke down, it was taking too long, and he had to move around. He took a loan of 450 to buy a gadget in the engine. And by the time I left, he had not been reimbursed that money. And so they are actually suffering, and those are some of the issues that we want to raise to government, so that they don't look out of place. You know, when the DCs are arriving in their four-wheel vehicles and the double cabs, and ours are coming in on the border, it's very bad. So we need to, which makes us look inferior when we also are damaged around. So that's something that we need to budget for. I'll find out whether I've seen the budget. If it's not there, we shall request that if it comes here, we request that the assistant, so that the budget is approved, we buy the vehicles. If we cannot buy it, we can buy in bits until maybe after 5 or so years we have enough, because they are really suffering. Some of them are walking on foot and so forth. And they also don't know what to do. They need guidance. They need refresher courses, like these other administrators who are trained in the market. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I get a few questions from Honorable Labor amongst.
Thank you. Mr. Omwaka, if given this opportunity, I think you know about the wage bill and the regulations that are put in place. Currently, the wage bill is beyond the limit, that is, it's beyond 35% of the total county revenue as provided under Regulation 25A of the Public Finance Management, County Government Regulations 2015, and also the Finance Management County Government Regulations 2015 Act, and the CEC in charge of the public service and administration. How do you how will you handle such a, issue to ensure that, compliance with the provisions is met? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Always calling the awareness and with supporting 42% instead of 35% of the total amount of money that is spending. So we need to come up with strategies on how we should bring it down. And from given this position, first thing I'm dealing with is internal promotions that you find in departments. The director, and the director is earning 200,000, and the deputy director is earning 180,000. Now, when the director goes, we advertise again for a position, somebody to come and take over to earn the 200,000. Instead of promoting this deputy director who is there, who was served with the required, because for you to be deputy director, you are as good as a director. So if you promote this deputy director who is there, then the county is only going to lose 20,000 to make it straight 200 so that it can be director. And then you bring in somebody at a lower level at maybe 30,000. So we have spent the 20 that we're giving the deputy director as an increment, and the 30 for the person that we are hiring down there. And we shall be saving 150, which is close to 1.8 in a year. If we have 20 such employees, we will save about 40 million. So internal promotion. Like I was telling you about Sumba Juma, who was master's in education, degree in communication, and higher national diploma in communication. Experience of working in Murembe and here, and he's still there, job P. And now we have advertised the newspaper. Somebody coming in at job group. So why did we promote him so that he will spend less? So that's one. Number two,
Chair. Chair, I think I'm concerned with this quantity of existing employee of the county government without a prior notification of the committee. He has to not lay on that if it's not.
Yes, for the explanation, don't give that example.
I'm sorry, Chair, but I'm just saying that we shall work on the internal promotions. It will save some money for the county, so that we bring it down. Then number two, there's also this notion where it's now becoming very popular that we hire people on contracts, so that if they don't perform, we don't renew their contract. But it's a very expensive affair, because when you hire somebody in contract, you pay full salary, and then at the end of the contract, you're paying gratuity, which means you're paying an extra 31% of the basic salary. So you find you are almost paying double. And that's why we're saying that we rather hire employees at a permanent basis. If they found with a problem, we deal with the case. But this contract, if you have so many people on contracts, you also pay a lot of wage, and I think this is also increasing the salaries. Then number three, there's outsourcing. We can also outsource. Like now, we have the Malaba Health Center or some county hospital. Instead of having 10 employees just cleaning, well, they would rather be deployed into other areas. And we get ladies from that area who will form a group, and they are given that job to clean the hospital. So they're not going to pay, they'll just be paid for the job that they're doing. So that's outsourcing is also key. It has been done in town, the Commander town, and the stadium. Then we also need to form strong standards, the semi-autonomous were government agencies. Because those are given capitation, and when they give a capitation, it means that they don't, they're not on the main payroll, they have their own payroll there. Like there was a proposal in 2016 to have a mega county.
Had about the issue of ghost workers in almost all counties, county governments. Recently, there was a headcount of staff and verification of academic certificates. Assuming the outcome of the excess reviews that we have, such a malpractice, how will you deal with it?
Yeah, working county, Kabaga County, I don't think the number will be there. I don't know how the systems are, but we put proper systems when I'm there and then for the chat, and also the chief officer. Because what happens is that before a ministry advertises for a position, it has been taken to cabinet. But it will be taken to cabinet by the Minister for Public Service and Administration. So when you want, let's say, an accountant or a driver, where it's taken to Public Service and Administration is to establish whether it is that position is in the county structure. And after that, whether you budgeted for that position, and whether those qualifications that you want are not within the county. And after establishing that, then you send it in cabinet. After cabinet approval, then the county sector now writes a letter to the county public service board to advertise. And then after they have advertised, all those documents from the local archive, all those documents from the cabinet approval, the letter from the county secretary, to the interview results and communication from the board is put there in one file. Whether it has come at the end of the year, what they usually do is they just check out the names of people who have been recruited during that particular year. And then they want to look at where are those all these approvals. And they also go to the system to find out whether the salary that the board recommended is what is being paid. So with that, it's not easy. And now at the national government, the IPPD, when you are applying for somebody to get a number, personal number, you have to send documents, copies of all those documents. That's what we put in place. And if it's working, then the issue of post workers may not be there. However, if the establishment is there, then definitely you follow the right procedure to ensure that you move them. If you don't follow the right procedure, then you lose. Remember when we built the county, the former local authority had just hired about a week before the county started, 200 staff. And then when the cabinet just got that, all of them should be moved from the payroll. And we lost the case and they were brought back. So procedure is key because they did not employ themselves, they were employed by people. So we must follow the right procedure and deal with whoever employed them procedure.
Thank you. Honorable Kenneth.
Thank you, Roy Roberts. I must first of all confess that I have admired the nominee's response, especially being a unionist. The way you have elaborately explained how public officers, especially those handling human resource, should be sticklers to the procedure. I know there are situations where when you exercise the own zeal and act dispassionately sometimes, you end up occasioning a lot of injuries along the way. But again, I have seen when I see as your man was acted very in a very versatile manner. More so when you sacrifice your time, most of the time. Anytime I've attended boards in telegrams, I've seen you giving it your fast food and the best shot. But when you make mention CS in this country, what quickly comes in public domain is that CS is somebody holding fort on a position that is not counted properly in law. And I don't know what you will say of that. Two, what new thing are you coming with? Because I've seen completely new. Are you coming with to this county? Because you are lucky. Out there in public domain, all the former chief officers, CECs, have been associated with a very complacent group of a lot of people. Then, but what are you coming up with? The new thing you're coming up with to this CEC, or rather to this new position. Two, what are the values and principles of public service according to the Constitution of Kenya 2010? What concrete steps do you intend to take to ensure that these values and principles of public service provided under Article 232 of the Constitution are observed and upheld in the Kakamega County Public Service?
Thank you very much, Chair. Monsieur Lucas, Chief Administrative Secretary, actually it is the Assistant Minister position. It was removed as Assistant Minister position in the Constitution. But somehow the President didn't fit to reintroduce it. But now he did not reintroduce it the way it used to be mentioned before. What they did is the President, through the head of public service, wrote to the Public Service Commission to come up with a position, Chief Administrative Secretary, give qualifications for that position and duties. And that's why when people applying the other day, you apply to the Public Service Commission. But initially, the minister was, the president was just appointing people regardless of where they are. But I've served in that position, and it is a very important position. Although the court yet to make a final ruling, they ruled that the case has to go on. I've been there, and I've seen the importance of that position and what you do. We were actually very busy. But if the court rules that it will not be there, then it will be removed. Personally, I say I've really gained a lot of experience from it, and it's a good position that can really help this country. I remember when the president was going to Mombasa, because the fisheries and us was going to open port, and there's a function of East African ministers, and Kenya was chairing. I was sent there to chair, and I felt very proud, and I also learned a lot from them. In HR, we learned about what new things I'm going to bring. I'm actually a member of IHRM and a trainer. And the main area that I've been training is HR metrics and analysis. It's not the process here, but I want to really bring it in. HR metrics and analytics is a new phenomenon. For instance, you go to market like Mumias market, or just establishing how many county staff are there. If I'm there, 30 county staff. Averagely, how much do they earn? 40,000 per person. So we are spending 1.2 million a month to pay staff who are collecting money in the market. But how much money do we collect from Mumias town? On Fridays, we collect 28,000. On Sunday, we collect 25,000. So we are spending 1.2 to collect 200,000. That's now what HR metrics and analytics. You don't get the metrics, but you also analyze, find out whether. Now this should be done in all the parties so that we know, are we adding value or we are being wasteful? Can this job be done by one person or not? So that's an area that I really want to work on. Then there's something called skills audit. I did it this year, with opportunity to do it for them about 3 years ago. Skills, so that is which skills are here before we advertise for a position. So the skills audit is done in all departments with a form that given so that we know the skills that we have, so that we don't advertise for what you already have. It's like buying seats and you already have the seats. So that's something else that I'll say is key and prioritize. And then staff training. There's a cheaper way of doing staff training. For you to be promoted, they want senior management, supervisory skills, and strategic leadership skills for you to move in promotion. But when I was there, the HR discussion with the CEC was there. We agreed, instead of taking people to Kenya School of Government and spending 160 per person, we brought them here. We took 200 staff to Bukura, and we brought those lecturers from Kenya School of Government. We trained them from there. Instead of spending money there, the money was paid in Bukura, which is now generated more revenue for us. We trained others from Mumias, those who are senior management. And then the director of Kenya School of Government, Baringo, came in and the governor had issued certificates. So many people were promoted. So we want to look at ways, easier ways of training. We must train our people so that they get the national skills. And then performance management started very well. By the time of building, I saw it was dwindling a bit. We also need to become performance management and reward the way we started earlier. Those who are performing well. And without anything, people just fill forms and then they throw them there, they are put in the file and they say they have done performance management. So even those who are performing well are not rewarded. Those who fail to complete to do anything are not reprimanded. So that's one thing that I'm also bringing. Core values and principles. We have the values, the about 16. We have the equity, equality, integrity, impartiality, rule of law, democracy. Those are some of the values, national values. And then we have principles, which are about fair distribution of resources to various areas. We have representation, where when you are appointing, you appoint from all the areas of if you are interning, you must ensure that each part of the county gets some. We also need to look at people with disability. We also look at the gender, both men and women, and then the youth. We have responsive also the use of government resources and effective and efficient management of resources. Those are some of the principles of public service. And then now, how do we ensure that these are embedded into the county government? One of the things is to ensure that we are impartial when we are dealing with people, can be in line with the principle of national principles. And then number two is to give people opportunity to express, to give their ideas through public participation, so that you are not the leader who is a know-it-all. That will be helping to ensure that you also deal with the people who commit misdemeanors accordingly and after the law, which also will improve integrity. Having an open door policy servant leadership. Those are some of the things that you mentioned that the principles are entrenched. And you also practice what you do. You don't tell people, don't take water, and you take a head can.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. We would like to know what is your understanding of leadership and integrity in relation to the Constitution of Kenya. Secondly, the county government has two arms. Kindly elaborate the functions of each.
Thank you very much, Chair. Leadership and integrity is chapter 6. Tell us how to behave as leaders. Stresses on those values and principles of public service. I say, as a leader,